Week 2 of the LEC is upon us, but have we learned anything from last week's predictions? Welcome back to the Immaterial Gamers Fantasy League. So, we're here. Week 1 went off to a cracking start, not only in the league, but also in the LEC as well. As a reminder, here are the standings for Week 1. It is relatively close, and anything can happen. I mean, we've still got 8 weeks left. So let's get straight into it this week. No rules, regulations, let's just move on. This is the rundown of Week 2. Game 1, and time for Rogue and Origin to fight to keep their undefeated streak going. OG did get the first kills in the game, but Rogue ended up with the first dragon. More kills to OG along with a Herald, who then helped with the top tower. Then the nice Baron fight went to OG along with more dragons and the Nexus. Game 2, and could Misfits get their first win this split against SK? The kills were a little bit more balanced at the beginning, but a nice team fight at Herald ended up the way of Misfits, who then promptly used their Herald to take out the first tower. However, SK got themselves a dragon. That was about all they got though. Another big team fight led to the Baron, but it took a second for Misfits to win their first game. Game 3. Could Vitality put a stop to G2's good start and make some progress of their own? Well, short answer really, no. G2 ended up with the dragon, while Vitality got the Herald, and then it all fell down. G2 got the turret, and then didn't even need to go for the Baron, and just wiped the Nexus off the map. Game 4, Mad Lions and XL got wins under their belt last week, but who would get their second? This was one of 3 sweeps of the week. XL just pretty much took everything. Dragon, Herald, they took the first tower. Pretty simple from there. They racked up kills as well, and mean that, Baron also taken. And they ended this match 21-7. Game 5, and Schalke and Fnatic wrap up the Friday with their match. Dragon ended up the way of Fnatic early on in the game, but the Herald went to Schalke. Then Tower soon followed for Fnatic again. Then a nice team fight happened just after Fnatic took Baron, and then they proceeded to take the Nexus. Game 1, and Misfits got their first win under their belt. Could they do it again with XL? Misfits did have a bit of a problematic start, as XL went and took the first Herald. Things got a little bit better as they ended up with the first dragon. But then XL took that Herald opportunity and took out the top tower. Then a nice little team fight happened around the Baron, and then ended pretty much soon after. And then Misfits at 17-7 ended up with the Nexus. Game 2, and with Schalke struggling, could they silence the Mad Lions? The match between the two teams was a little closer than expected, but we're here for predictions. So, Mad got the first dragon. And then they ended up with the first Herald as well. Pretty uncontested really. The kills were at 2-2, and there was still more of the game to go. So, first tower came along, and that also went to Mad. And then it was Baron. And guess who that went to? Give you a guess. It starts with Mad. Along with the Nexus, which again was Mad. It was a sweep. Game 3, and Vitality aimed to get their first win in 2 weeks, but standing in front of them was Rogue. Okay, let's get this out of the way pretty quickly. This did not go Vitality's way. It started with a Rogue Dragon. And then, while Vitality did manage to pick up a Herald, pretty easily to be fair, it really didn't happen in terms of the kills, and Rogue ended up with the middle turret first. And things didn't get better, because Rogue ended up with the Nasher. And also, some nice team fighting happened also, because by the time Rogue ended up winning the match, they were 10 kills to 1 with a Dragon's Soul. Game 4, and Fnatic and SK lock horns in the last rundown game of the week. This is a quick rundown. Fnatic got the first Dragon, SK got the first Herald. Then a split, but SK got the first tower. Fnatic ended up with the Baron and a whole load of kills, and eventually, the game. It's Clash time, Game 5, and my G2 take on Stefan's Origin. Both are undefeated, but only one can maintain that record. What exactly went down? So, I don't know how we're going to get into this. We hadn't actually planned on what we were discussing in a Clash, but it's Ryan.
I don't like to plan.
Ah, and that's Stefan. That's how we're going to do this. What we're going to really do is we're going to go through the objectives like what would be done in the rundown, except we're going to, talk about it in real time a little bit.
I never did watch this because I've not been given the rewards from it.
So you never actually watched this match. So this will be a slightly surprise to you, even though we kind of have already got the table sorted, so we know the results.
I know the results.
So
and I hate you already.
Yeah. So let's kick into it. This isn't one of the first objectives initially, but it did happen round one of the first objectives. Yeah, I think maybe for the summer split.
I kept saying that to you. Why don't you do First Blood?
Yeah, well, we had it all set.
Because there's some teams in this so far that have gone 0 kills.
Yeah.
Well, 0 deaths through their whole game.
Yeah. Oh, not by the end of this week. The deathless runs are over. But the first thing we had was around the Herald.
I'm assuming
the first
G2
blood
got the first
actually.
blood.
G2 did.
Well, on Rumble. Yeah.
No,
I don't know what Rumble was thinking of. I'll come around the back.
Yeah, they were trying to collapse a little bit and it just didn't work. And look how close the Herald got to actually going down.
Oh, true.
But, no.
Who else died there? Rumble and...
Italia, I believe, or whoever it was. No, Xayah died.
Oh, was it Xayah?
Yeah. She was the one that actually gave away the first blood, but that ended up as a 2-0 for that. So we'll actually get to the next objective, which was actually Dragon. And then they get in, and this is like another looking like a team fight was about to happen for it, because they were just competing for everything. But it just got left. Rumble just had a look at it and went, no.
Well,
and left G2.
Well, come on, you know for a fact they had... Origin had 2 people at top, so they were at a downside by 1 person, because they knew Senna was up there, they didn't know where LeBlanc was, and they knew Soraka was on bottom lane.
Yeah, pretty much, and sort of...
And they knew 2 people were in the jungle. I mean, at least 1 person was on Dragon, they could see was Lisa.
Yeah, and that sort of led to sort of a lane swap that happened. Generally, there's a tankier players are at the top, and then an 8 or a carry and a...
Do you mean Soraka's on top?
Yeah, well, Soraka is one of those weird picks. It just seems to happen, and G2 made it work.
Tank.
Yeah, mainly due to...
And by the way, I'm not just watching what we've got our little... I don't know what to call it. Predictions? Dream Team? I'm not just watching it. I've been watching a lot of the LCS.
Leagues. Yeah, LCS.
OPL.
The Brazilian one, the OBL.
Yes, I've not really watched that much of that, actually. I can't really understand.
We'll see how this goes. So, we go back to Herald. And so, there's the top lane and out at the bottom fighting. And the team fight then happens in the river.
I don't like the fact that from the team fight that's happening in the river, it's gave us Rumble. Oh, there we go in the bottom corner.
Yeah, but it's just like
I'm sat there going, I didn't want to watch Rumble and that fight in the bottom corner.
Yeah, but they're fighting over everything. I mean, absolutely everything. And at this point, G2 hold Origin off.
Most of the skill shots from Origin were missing.
Yeah. But that happens, and immediately team fight. And this is where, sort of a couple of them eventually lose their Deathless that they've had for the first week and a half at that point. So...
Did anyone in G2 actually die in this game?
They did, but it was a lot later on. Origin started picking up kills a bit later. G2 started pushing out too far, and things got there. I mean, as we head to the tower.
I was about to say, I'm
on.
now watching the tower, and literally they just pushed Origin out of the way and just went, yeah, bugger it, we'll take the tower now.
Yeah, I mean they don't even use the Herald at this point, do they? They just take the tower, and that's that. But we skip this a little further on to
I was about to say, I think I'm about to watch Origin take out the first tower attempt.
So yes, this is like, again, nothing sort of happens. They're fighting the Baron. There's a couple of players on G2 doing it
again,
and then immediately team fight.
Yeah, but look at it again. A lot of Origin skill shots missing.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of let them down with this.
Yeah, if they were a bit more aggressive or if they were accurate with what they were doing, things happen. Though that being said, they got the upper hand of the first Baron fight. They sort of forced, I
don't think they really forced. I think they've I think G2 realised, hold on a minute, we can take these out. Why do we... We'll just take them out, for that means they can't interfere with us with Baron. By looks at that, that's what I would have basically said. They can't stop us, just kill them, we'll go for Baron again. Because now they're going back.
So they head back, and this is the second attempt at a Baron fight that they start. We'll just keep it going here.
But at this point, they're already losing anyway. They've already lost Siler.
Yeah. Vision's gone. They've got more people. Things happen. But then G2 overextend here in trying to keep Origin out.
LeBlanc just got LeBlanc.
Yeah. Well, one could say that she had a bit of a Blanc face. But, yeah.
But
and then
again, look at the skill shot. The Origin skill shots in that fight there were starting to hit.
Yeah. And it showed.
Yeah.
And so this is where, they sort of retreat.
And Silas came up behind them.
Yeah, and then this is where they managed to collapse, split, and everything gets up. G2, give away kills that they didn't really need to. And at this point, this sort of just runs on, and...
I'm assuming Origin then took Baron, by the looks of this.
Yeah, they've managed to get control of the area.
There's no way LeBlanc, Lee Sin, and Soraka are getting back in time to stop them.
Yeah, it's not a team of 5, so they get that. Not that this sort of helps, because if you just saw at the end of when they take the Baron, there's a Soraka split push going on.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what happens through the next few minutes of the fight, to be fair. So we'll just skip this right to sort of the end game here. And, the split push strategy sort of worked. G2 managed to get 4 dragons, so they got the Dragon Soul, which in this case would have been
I do think
Soul.
It is G2 last week or the day before who did the split push. It might have been the day after, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where they're incredibly good at split pushing. And 4 members of them are I think it was they had a Yasuo.
Yeah.
I believe it was G2 anyway. I'll have to recheck, but they had they're extremely good at split pushing, and 4 members can take out, handle 5.
Yeah, map
easy.
Awareness is what they seem to be very good at, and I think they've took the idea of this whole elemental rift thing that's happened this season, and sort of know how it's working.
God,
so
by the looks of this, the only thing Origin really got was Baron.
Pretty much, and it took them a good couple of team fights in order to get it. But
and there's the end.
overall, it was a close for a majority of the game, and then G2 just managed to get what they needed. So, it's another win for
I
G2.
think it would have been a lot closer if Origin skill shots were more accurate. If Origin was slightly better at the skill shots, in that game, I think Origin let it slip because of that.
Yeah.
Their skill shots were failing them.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming them as a team, and to be honest, it is my team for this.
Yeah, 2 weeks in, being 3-1 is still not a bad thing in any way.
I wasn't expecting them to go completely undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have been ecstatic if they would.
Oh yeah, that would have been a turning point.
I can't see G2 going completely undefeated.
Yeah, I reckon come up against Fnatic and it'll be very interesting to go for. But
is it Fnatic they're playing today, or is it tomorrow? Are they even playing them today?
No, they are the according to our schedule, the last match of Saturday for week 3.
Ah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, they are. That should be a good game.
Yeah, and next week you and Duncan. Well, tomorrow you and Duncan have got a match.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting as well. So yeah. We'll catch you later, and we'll be back with the table. So, with week 2 in the bag, let's have a look at the scores for that week and overall. Stefan did struggle this week, but Martin ended up being the top dog in week 2. But overall, the positions are unchanged. But the league waits for no man, and week 3 will soon be upon us. So until then, we'll see you next time.